Greetings, beautiful ones. So let's get into it. So I talked to you in a couple of videos ago about the power of the subconscious mind. In that video, I talked about the 3 levels of conviction. I want to dive a little bit deeper just into that aspect because this has come up in sessions with my clients. So here it is. We have 3 levels of conviction. We have the thinking, to think, to believe, and to know. And then there's a subset of to know that I'm going to go back to. So let's just talk about it for a second. When we are in the thinking, imagine if you went to the doctor and you said, I feel bad, doc. And the doc said, here's some medicine to take. It's going to cure you. And you said, okay, doc, is this going to make me feel better? And the doc said, I think so. We'll see. Right? Or if you said, hey, doc, is this going to let me feel better? And the doc said, I believe it will, right? You would feel a different thing. But if you said, doc, is this going to cure my ailment? And the doc said, I know for a fact that it will. Take it. You're going to feel better in no time. You'll be fine, right? There's a relief that centers in your body. Well, apply that to how you manifest your desires. It's the same thing. It's the same levels of conviction. The thinking mind, the logic, is where you want to put strategy to things. That's why so many of you are like, what's the strategy? What's the blueprint? You're looking for the blueprint, and you don't have the conviction at the second and third levels yet. The belief level is the body. You can tell when people are in the belief but not in the knowing, because you will hear them talk about, I believe, I feel, they will talk in those kind of terms. But when you know, that knowing is another level. It's sort of like when I sat down in this chair, I had no expectation that I would fall. I know for the fact the chair is there. I can feel it. I can see it. When I sit down, I expect to be held by that chair. That is what knowing is like if we apply that to your manifesting life, like what you're trying to produce in your life. So if you are in the knowing, then there's no question. Now, some of you might call that faith, right? Because you can't see the chair. Like I can see this chair. You can't see it, but you know that you know. I'm going to give you an example. When my dog was ill and he had to have a $4,000 surgery, immediately. And the people said, well, if you want, just let us know he's not in pain. Just let us know. You can come back to it. And I said, no, I don't need to. I don't need to come back. Right? Make the appointment. And I'll have the money at the time of that appointment. That wasn't a thought. That wasn't even a belief. I know that I know that I know. How? How do you get there? I'm glad you asked. The way you get to that deep level of knowing is practice, because that knowing is full embodiment. Mind, body, spirit. It is full embodiment. It is when there is full alignment in your soul and you are in divine alignment with the universe, with the timeline version of you that is already done, right? Because let's keep it real. Time, we have created a linear language for time, but time actually folds over. Like we know that from quantum physics, that time is not linear, right? Time is not linear. So you can call forth that version of you where it is already done, and having that knowing is a subset that I call knowingness. That is when you can feel it because you are so honed in with your intuition by way of breathing, silence, meditation, listening, and being in practice on a daily basis, not just when something is coming up for you. Because see, some of you want to manifest only when there is something going on. I want to invite you out of that. Be in practice of alignment prior to, so that when it's time to utilize that tool, it's sitting at the top of your toolbox. All right? 3 levels of conviction. Thinking, believing, and knowing. Ask yourself, where are you in the thing that you are trying to manifest the most? Be honest with yourself, because nothing changes in denial or dishonesty. Be honest with yourself, and then ask yourself, if I'm not at the knowing or the knowingness, What do I need to get there? How do I get there? What do I need to get there? That's it. Because everything you desire, you deserve. That's it. Do with it what you will.